Hi everyone, welcome you all. The today's video, let us try to understand different type of reporters in Playwright. So basically, Playwright is provided some built-in reporters through which we can generate a different type of test reports. Now, for example, list reporter, line reporter, HTML reporter, JSON, JUnit reporter, and these are all built-in reporters which are supported by Playwright. So apart from them, Playwright is also supported some third-party reports. For example, if I go back to the documentation, and here they have provided some third-party reporters like Alluri report, Monocard, okay, Tessels, and etc. So these are different type of third-party reports it will support. In the today's video, let us try to understand the default reporters. And what are the default reporters are supported? List reporter, line reporter, dot, HTML, JSON, and JUnit, and etc. Okay. So we can use these reporters in two different ways. One is by using configuration file. So we can specify the configuration. We have a one file called private playwright.config.js, and in that we can put configuration. And other one is we can directly execute the command through terminal or CLI. We can execute the command, it will automatically generate. So there are two different ways we can generate the reporters. Now let's see one by one. So for that, I'm opening my VS Code editor, and I already created one small test, reporters.spec.js, in my test folder. And if I look at this test, I have three different tests which are created. There's a test 1, test 2, test 3. And I'm just opening the page and just verifying the title. And for every test, I'm opening different pages. I'm verifying the different title. So if I execute the test, I'm trying to run the test, npx playwright test reporters spec.js -. My project is Chromium. Okay, I'm just running my test. So it is started executing three different tests. And by default, it is executed on my Chrome browser. And because I have not specified any headed mode, so by default, tests are executed on the Chromium browser in headless mode. So now I want to execute in headed mode. I can say -, headed. So this will launch the browser and closed. All three browsers executed and also closed. So all three tests are got passed. Okay. So now let us see how can we generate the different type of reporters, or how can we use different type of reporters. Now the first reporter, let us see list reporter. Go back to the documentation once again. So they have provided all the reporters one by one. And let's see one by one. So here initially they have provided list reporter. So how can we generate the list reporter? So one approach is we can directly specify, we can directly execute this command like npx playwright test -reporter equal to list. So this will generate the list reporter. And other ways, we can directly specify this configuration in the configuration file, and that will generate the list reporter. So let's see how can we generate in both the ways. Now I'm going to VS Code editor and go to configuration file, first playwright.config.js. In this, by default, reporter is HTML, right? So let me just change it as a list. Okay, so this is simple configuration we can do. In the reporter, we can specify as a list and save the configuration file. And now go and execute our test. So I'm trying to execute my test. Reporter.spec.js in the console window. So I'm directly executing on headless mode. I'm not going to select any project or anything. Simple test, 3 tests. Now I'm going to execute the test and want to generate list type of report, because in the configuration file, we configured the list. Okay, now go and execute. So now we can just observe 3 different tests are executed and it is generated the list like this. So test 1, test 2, test 3 like this. Okay. So by using tick mark, it is generated. Suppose when I file some test, let's say I'm failing this test. Go to the file and save and then execute again. And now 1 and 2 got passed. Now 3 should fail. Okay. Now you can just look at here. 2 got passed. 1 is got failed. So this is called list reporter. Can just look at here. So we have executed 3 tests. Okay, now you can see this is the list. The first 2 are got passed in the list and third one is got failed. Simple, it is simple list reporter. We can go to configuration file and specify, and then as usual, execute this command. npx playwright test, and inside the test folder, I'm running reporters.spec.js. You don't need to specify any commands, anything else. Okay. Suppose if you want to generate the same reporter using command line, what you can do is, let me comment here, configuration file, and go to the terminal, save, go to the terminal. And apart from this command, we have to additionally give -reporter, -reporter space list, or you can specify equal to list, equal to or space, both are allowed. So reporter equal to list. So this will also generate list reporter. You can see all three tests are executing. And third one definitely will fail because intentionally we failed the test. Now let me correct this and then go and save it. And then again, I'm trying to execute one more time by using the command prompt. So you can say -reporter equal to list. So this will execute and create list reporter. Okay, so this is the first type of reporter, list reporter, either by using command or by specifying this option in the configuration file. And same thing, similarly, we also have something called line reporter. So for that, what you can do is same command line. Instead of list, we can simply say line. Okay. And through configuration file also, we can do it. If you want to do configuration file, go here. So instead of list, I can specify this as line. Okay, I can say save the file and then go to the command line and then execute the test. So to execute the test here, we don't need to specify the reporter option because we already configured in the configuration file. Simply execute the test. So this is a line reporter. So you don't see anything, just what a tester got executed passed, only you can see passed. If there is any failure, it will show you the failure. So this is a default one. Okay, line reporter. And if you want to do this through command prompt, you can just comment this in the configuration file and then go to the command line. And this time you have to write the command -reporter equal to line. So this will generate the line reporter. Okay, it's very simple. Two different ways we can do through configuration file, or you can do through command prompt. Okay, so these are the two, line and list. Now there is another reporter called dot reporter. So let's see how can we generate the dot reporter. Simple. If you want to generate this through command prompt, you can say -reporter equal to dot. Or if you want to do this through configuration file, you can specify reporter is a dot. So let me go to configuration file and then I'll make it as dot reporter : dot. And then save the file and go to the reporters.spec.js. Now I'm trying to execute the test. I don't need to specify any options, just run the test. So this is a dotted reporter. Now you can just observe there are 3 dots are displayed in the green color. So that means 3 tests are executed. All 3 tests are got passed. Okay, let me fail something here and observe what will happen. So let me try to fail the second one. Second test I'm going to fail. Now observe how it is going to generate the dot reporter. Now execute. Now just observe. Yes, 1 is failed, 2 got passed. And if I look at the dots here, observe the terminal output. You can see 2 got passed, 1 test is got failed. In the 3 dots, 1 is F, rest of the 2 are passed. 2 green dots are representing passed, F is representing failed. Okay, so this is very simple. It will show you simple in the dot format. Okay, so this is a dotted report. We can simply specify the configuration dot inside the configuration file and execute the test command. And through the command prompt, how can we generate? Simple. You can say comment this. And through the command prompt, you can go to the test, clear. And through the command prompt, you can simply run the test. -reporter equal to dot. -reporter equal to dot. So this particular additional option will run the test and generate dotted report. So this is another reporter, dotted reporter. So we have seen list reporter, line reporter, dot reporter. And then we have a HTML reporter. So we have a HTML report. So we can generate HTML reporter for our test. So to generate HTML reporter, again, there are two ways. One is through configuration file, other is through command prompt. So let's see through configuration file. Go to the configuration file. So instead of reporter here dot, you can simply say HTML. Okay. Now save it and then go to the command prompt, clear. And now I'm executing the test. You don't need to provide any options, just run the test. Press enter. So now all three tests are executing, all three got passed. Now where we can see the HTML report. So this HTML report will be generated here. You can see Playwright report. The new folder is got created. Inside this index.html is got created. So this is a report file. Now if you want to see that HTML, you can directly open this index.html in any browser, or the Playwright itself provided this command to open the report on the browser. You can simply say npx playwright show -report. So if you execute this, it will show you the HTML file and all three tests are executed and passed. Okay, so this is how we can simply generate HTML reporter for our test. And this is through configuration file. You can directly specify HTML in the configuration file. Suppose through command prompt, how can we execute? Let me comment this and then go to the command prompt. Clear. Now I want to run my test and want to generate HTML reporter. Simply what you can do is execute this command -, reporter is what? Reporter equal to HTML. So this will generate the report and that will be stored inside the Playwright report folder. So currently I'm just deleting this. It will automatically created by the command. So currently I deleted. Now I'm running this file command reporter equal to HTML. Now 3 got passed. Now if I look at here, Playwright report folder is already generated again one more time. And this is the report file index.html. And again, if you want to see the report, you can execute this command in place Playwright show report. Okay. So this is how we can simply generate HTML reporter. HTML reporter. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. So HTML reporter. So next we have something called JSON reporter. JSON report also we can simply generate. So to generate the JSON report, again, we have a command prompt. We can execute this command and also we can do the configuration. So to do the configuration, what we need to do, we need to pass this value. JSON is a variable and this is a value, key and value page. So this is the key and this is the value. So get this information and go to the config file and I will keep this. Okay, so reporter and we need to put one comma here. So reporter is what? A JSON. So this is basically an array. So from here to here, this is an array element. In the array, we have a key and this is a value. Okay, output file we can specify. So what is this output file is? This result.json file will be created under the folder. You can specify whichever path you want. So the JSON report will be generated in this file result.json. Oh, this is the parameter we have to pass. Okay, this is a variable and this is the parameter. This is the name of the JSON. You can give any name. I'm just saving this. And now when I run the test, the JSON reporter will be generated. That will be part of your project. So this is with the same name, it will generate. Now I mentioned this option, reporter is JSON, and then go to the test. And I'm running the test directly without having any options. Okay, now all three my tests are got passed. Now if I look at this, there is a JSON result.json is got created. So this is a JSON report. So these type of things will be published in the CI environment later. So that will be very, very useful. So this is a JSON format, JSON reporter. Okay. So this file will automatically create because we provided the output file here. Okay. Now, same thing we can do through command prompt also. For that, what you can do, let me comment this. And if you want to do through command prompt, you can simply say, okay, and clear and execute the command by specifying - reporter equal to JSON. - reporter equal to JSON. So when you specify this option, -- reporter underscore JSON, so where this JSON report will be generated, because we are not specifying any file, right? So because of that, it will generate the JSON report in the command line itself, in the terminal itself. So if I look at here, so this is the JSON reporter. This is the output of that. This is a JSON reporter which is got generated in the command line itself, right? But if you want to get this JSON output in some particular file, then we have to set some environment variable. So that's the reason they have mentioned this. So we have to set the environment variable. Depends upon your operating system, like in Bash. If you are a Bash, you have to execute this command. If you are PowerShell, then you have to execute this, or if you are a batch, then you have to execute this. So if you want to generate the JSON reporter file, we have to first configure the environment variable and then execute this command. So then what happens? This reporter entry or data will be logged into the particular file. If not specified the file, then JSON data will be generated in the terminal itself. Okay. Now, same thing is applicable for JUnit report also. Let me just clear this. And if I go back, there is JUnit reporter. So the reporter also will generate the reporter in XML format. Okay, so that also we can do through configuration file and through command prompt. So let us do the configuration file. So this is the entry which you have to use JUnit, and output file will be result.xml file. So this is the reporter which we have to use. Go back and configuration file. I'll comment this and then put this. So reporter is what? This time JUnit, output file is what? Result.xml file. Okay, now save the configuration file and then execute my test through command window. So this XML file will be created again in the current project location. Okay, I no need to pass any options, directly run my test. Okay, now all three got passed. Now where you can see this is a result.xml file. So the results will be generated in the form of XML file. This is it. Reporter, JUnit reporter. Okay. And through configuration file, we have generated JUnit reporter in XML format. So through command prompt, if you want to generate, again, what you can do, we can just comment this configuration file and then go to command prompt and execute the same test command. And additionally, we can say -- reporter equal to JUnit. -- reporter equal to JUnit. Okay, now let me, okay, so where this will generate the report. So previously, because in the configuration file, we specified the location, right? So output file location. So it is generated in the current project location file. But this time we are not specifying any location, right? So the JUnit report XML will be generated in the console window itself or in the terminal window itself. You can see this is the XML format of the reporter output. Again, if you want to save this entire thing in the external file, you have to again set the environment variable. As they said in the documentation, you have to create one environment variable and assign some data like result.xml. After that, you can execute this command through command prompt. So the result will be saved in the external file, result.xml file, according to the environment variable. Okay. So this is another type of reporter, JUnit reporter. Okay, so far we have seen line reporter, list reporter, dot reporter, HTML, JSON, and JUnit reporters, right? Through configuration file and also through command line. Sometimes if you want to generate multiple reporters, right? So then we can configure multiple options in the go to the configuration file and you can enable multiple reporters. So for example, okay, I can say, okay, I'll copy one of the reporter. Now I want to generate multiple reporters. Let's say I want to generate the list reporter. So in first array, you can write a list here. Okay, list. You can put in the single quote. So this is one reporter, comma. The second reporter I want to generate a JUnit. So let it be there as it is. So this is one reporter. And the second reporter is this one. And everything we need to put in the array itself. This is a second reporter. And comma. Now I want to generate JSON also. Let me have this JUnit and a JSON reporter. Okay, that's it. So currently I have three types of reports: a list, JUnit, and a JSON. Three types of reporters. Even if you want to put HTML, you can simply put HTML also. Here, I can add another bracket and say HTML like this and comma. So how many reporters I have used here? List reporter, and this is HTML reporter, JUnit and Json. So multiple reporters, list, HTML, JUnit and Json. Okay. Let's remove the files because it will newly creates. Close it and delete this. And also I'm just going to delete this HTML report folder. Okay, so everything previous stuff I have deleted. Now I specify how many reports are totally 3, 4, 5 reporters. Okay, totally 5 reporters. Okay, now we need to put one more bracket here. Just a second, this is one bracket is got closed. And here this is not needed, JSON. Okay, so this bracket is not needed. Okay, fine. So now let me save the file. And then, so currently we are generating 4 types of reporters at a time. Multiple reporters, list, HTML, JUnit and JSON. For HTML, JUnit, JSON, it will automatically create a files, but the list, it will not create any file. It will just show you in the terminal or console window. Okay, because through configuration file I have already set, so I can just run the test without having any options. I'm just running my test. So list report is got executed. See this, we can see all 3 tests are executed in the form of list. It will show you. And you can see Playwright report. This HTML report is got generated. And scroll down, you can see this is the JSON report is got generated. And also JUnit report is got generated. Okay, so multiple reporters, we can specify the configuration files. Like this, we can specify. Okay, so whatever we discussed so far, these are all built-in reporters. These are all built-in reporters provided by Playwright. And especially JUnit reporter, JSON reporter will be used to upload or publish the results in the CI tools or in the CI environment especially. Okay. So apart from all these built-in reporters, Playwright is also provided other type of reporters like external third-party reporters like LU report, Monocard, Result, Reporter Folder, Currents and etc., Serenity, etc. So we can also customize or we can also create our own custom report or third-party report in Playwright. In the next video, I will show you how we can generate LU report. Okay. So that's all this for this video. In the next video, we will continue. Thanks for watching.